Well, guys, Dr. David Starkey, the renowned historian and sometimes spicy boy, is back at it again, trolling every woke snowflake around by literally stating the bloody obvious. Of course, stating the obvious in 2023 is the end of the world, and so him saying this set off tosspots all over the shop.
As you mentioned the Prime Minister then, because the Prime Minister now has been, in my mind, detached or at least semi-detached from this coronation.
Invisible. And I think one of the reasons that I think a lot has gone wrong, for example, why Parliament has not been properly represented at the coronation of a parliamentary monarchy, is because the government isn't interested, is not interested in the Constitution. You have a Prime Minister, I think, a man of immense talent, of extraordinary skill, but really not fully grounded in our culture. Now, I know that's a difficult and controversial thing to say, but I think it's true. And again, this coronation is going to highlight far too much, I think, our differences rather than what unites us.
What do you mean by that? Do you mean in terms of religion?
In terms of religion, I mean, there's going to be an extraordinary moment. Have you read the service?
Funnily enough, no.
Right.
Not every word.
But it's worth looking at it.
Yeah.
There's going to be this extraordinary moment when everybody is invited to say the Lord's Prayer in their own language. It's going to be rebuilding the Tower of Babel. It takes an Archbishop of Canterbury called Welby to rebuild the Tower of Babel. It's an extraordinary thought.
Because English is the universal language.
English is the universal language. And
Yeah, apparently stating an Indian heritage MP is not 100% grounded in British culture is naturally going to set off the demented seals, and right on bloody cue it did exactly that. Of course, what probably burns them the most is that they know he's right and they simply don't like it. Oh yeah, the demented seals who scream against this sort of common sense take know that Rishi Sunak's not grounded in British culture, but have to be outraged for the sake of outrage, and of course because he went against diversity.
Diversity
is our strength.
Now, the same would also be true if I lived in India or was even born there to English parents. It wouldn't make me Indian, which would mean I'm not 100% grounded in their culture. What you are is not where you're born, but the heritage you actually come from. For me, that's English, Irish and Welsh grandparents, which bloody makes me British.
Hang on. I'm just checking your math on that. Yes. I got the same thing.
Clearly, the media don't want people to think like that about our culture, though, as it becomes harder for the scumbags like them who are trying to subvert it. Remember, it's the general public's apathy to the never-ending assault on our history and culture that's let them belittle and destroy so much of it already. Shutting people down, stating the bloody obvious, is just one method they use to do this, so expect more wankers to shit the bed over this as time goes on. Hopefully, though, Starkey doubles down on it, because last time he tried to say sorry, they cancelled him anyway, remember? That's why you've literally got to die on the hill of go fuck yourself snowflakes, which is where I'll always live and die.